Every once in a while you come across a car brand that you would never regret buying. Whether it's cheap maintenance, great on fuel, it's fun to drive, and it looks amazing. I have found many different car brands that I would definitely keep forever and I would never regret buying. Let me get into the top 3 of those car brands that I could literally keep forever. Let's get into it now.
Life's too short to drive boring cars.
This here is the first car manufacturer that I would literally never regret buying. It offers such a great level of performance, efficiency, reliability, and of course their reputation for long-lasting durability. A car like this is clearly one of their specialty cars. This one here is the LC500. It does in fact feature a 5-liter V8 naturally aspirated, high-strung, 472 horsepower, and it sounds amazing. Let's take a look at some of the quality and attention to detail, why I think Lexus puts together some of the nicest cars. I mean, look at the detail you'll find in some of the headlights, and some of the fit and finish, and the trim is so detailed. This car is absolutely gorgeous. You have these big, beautiful chrome wheels, lots of detail, flare on the front. It looks aggressive. There's your LC500 mirrors, and of course you've got vents, and as well you've got more flares that just make this car pop and makes it look ultra aggressive. We do have a set of amazing looking tail lights and some great chrome detailing in the bottom. The interior on these Lexus vehicles too is absolutely gorgeous. Audi, eat out your heart on this one. But it's not just about this. Remember sports cars, the Lexus LFA, that naturally aspirated high revving V10 that put out 550 horsepower. It's legendary. That car is worth huge money now because it revs great, it performs well as it has the durability of Lexus. But there's more to Lexus. Lexus is known for building a lot of great mainstream SUVs. As you can see down this row, a lot of these vehicles here are just simple and easy to live with. Many of them now are 4 cylinders, many of them now are V6s. Like this one here, we have the naturally aspirated 3.5 liter V6 because this is an RX 350. And these RX 350s had the old 3.5 liter V6, which was unstoppable. There was a high pressure VVTi line that had a bulletin for it, and the odd water pump you'd have to keep an eye out for. But these cars were good for 3 or 4 or 500,000 miles because Lexus wasn't a believer in quickly getting on the wagon, quickly innovating. They stuck with what they knew, so they went with an engine that was naturally aspirated, no turbos for extra heat and wear and tear. They just kept it simple for the longest of time. And that's why that 3.5 liter V6 will be missed, because now Lexus is finally moving on. I mean, let's face it, Lexus actually puts a lot of quality parts in their cars as well. See, it's not just about how you build it. It's not just about the pride you put into it or the attention to detail or just keeping it simple. It's a combination of all of the above, as well as even the quality of parts and how it's assembled. Right here, clearly we put in quality parts, radiators that are well built. Obviously right here we take a look at even fittings like this, cooling lines. You know, BMWs and a lot of those manufacturers don't go and use parts like this, where you actually have this clip on here where this actually does a constant tension spring. Manufacturers like Mercedes, BMW are using the plastic fitting where it's keyed and it snaps together, but they eventually crack and split because they're all plastic. Lexus does things like this because this is Toyota Lexus product. Things are kept simple. Fittings are simple. And also Lexus chooses to use higher grade parts like this that tend not to fail nearly as often as some of their counterparts. We also know that a lot of manufacturers have struggled with the same things that Toyota and Lexus find success with. For example, over here we have a Lexus. This particular model right here, this is a 350 hybrid. And when Lexus utilizes hybrid technology, they usually couple it up to a CVT transmission. Now just ask Nissan how CVT transmissions work. They've struggled with that. Even Honda's struggled a little bit with some of the CVT transmissions. Later models are getting better. However, they've struggled with getting reliability dialed into a CVT transmission. Toyota and Lexus have rarely struggled. They've actually almost perfected it. They've also almost perfected hybrid, and that's why they're not jumping on the EV bandwagon. They're exploring hydrogen, they're exploring hybrid technology and perfecting those technologies that they know will work, that they're practical. Lexus is just one of those brands that has everything well dialed in and well sorted. Right here's another example. It's the GX460. It's a V8 engine, naturally aspirated, no turbos. That means this thing will run for hundreds of thousands of miles reliably. Few coolant leaks here or there over the course of its lifespan, sure, but this is built for longevity. Yeah, it has a torque converter transmission tucked underneath here, means it's built for long life there as well, and that V8 engine will just chug along at low RPM. Now the beauty with this is a Land Cruiser Prado, essentially, and I think most people would agree. If you're going off-roading in the desert, the Land Cruiser has a reputation second to none for durability, running in the back 40. They're literally vehicles that are built to last the longest, and they will hit anything you can pretty much throw at them. Well, here's Lexus. They're taking the Land Cruiser, they're throwing the badge on it, but this is basically a durable workhorse, this luxury wagon right here. Now, another reason I would not ever regret buying a Lexus vehicle is the simple fact that because of its reliability, because of its reputation, because it's going to last a long time, you can get top dollar for these vehicles on the used car market. I mean, we look at the new Mercedes EQS. I've done some research lately, and a gentleman basically sold his one-year-old EQS for less than 50% of what it was going for brand new. That is brutal depreciation. But the Lexus vehicles often hold as much as 70 or 80% within the first year, and they literally lose very little and more of a linear rate. So you can buy one of these, hold it for 10 years and only lose a portion of it. You won't lose your shirt, you won't lose your shorts, and Lexus will ensure that you keep most of your money as long as you take care of it and take care of your maintenance. So while not everybody loves the style of Lexus, that's always very subjective because of the big mouth grills, the fact remains is it's a hard car not to love. As a matter of fact, you can get cars, you can get mid-size SUVs, you can get small SUVs, large SUVs, you can get sports cars, you can get high revving V8 engines that are naturally aspirated. There is literally a trick pony for every buyer out there. I would have no problems in buying a Lexus, and I would definitely never regret it. We just spoke of Lexus. Well, Toyota is their base family brand right here. As you can see, what we have here is a 4-liter V6, 270 horsepower, 6-speed automatic transmission, bang around, thrash around. Off-roading, this vehicle is built for going backwoods. It's tough, it's durable. It's not very great on driving on highways. It's kind of wallowy, it's a little bit sloppy, it's underpowered, and it's heavy on fuel. But you know what? At the end of the day, this thing never ever breaks. They don't wear out. You do your oil changes, this thing will last forever. And that speaks to the Toyota family. Now, we know that Toyota and Lexus are closely knit together. As little as I would regret buying a Lexus, the same applies for a Toyota. Now, we've had Toyotas. We currently own a Toyota Camry. We just bought brand new last year. It's not the best car because we bought one. Conversely, we bought one because it's the best car. In my opinion, Camrys are some of the most reliable cars. A little bit ho-hum in terms of not that great, not that exciting, absolutely, but that's not what we were trying to do. We have exciting cars in the garage already. We wanted a car that we turn the key and we go, and we get in and we go and we get in and we go, rinse, lather, repeat. Nothing ever breaks. And that's basically what we were trying to get out of Toyota. So you can get 300,000 or 400,000 miles all day from almost every Toyota. There's very few of them that won't last the test of time. I mean, you also share that beautiful 3.5-liter V6 in some of these models, like the Camry. You can get the 2.5-liter straight 4. You can also get the 3.5-liter V6 in the XSE. They're a sporty looking vehicle and actually are amazing. Now, you've also got the capability of hybrid, which some of these vehicles do come with hybrid attached to 4 cylinders, hybrid attached to V6s, CVTs, which aren't necessarily the best, but again, if anybody does it the best, it would be Toyota. And because it's so dependable and so reliable, I would never hesitate buying any Toyota at this point. The only Toyota I'm not really in love with is the Corolla, but that's only a personal choice. It's not a bad car, as a matter of fact. It's also meant to last forever because it's simple, it's effective, and it just does not cost a lot of money. But the fact remains, Toyota hasn't had a ton of issues. Yeah, we've spoke about this in other videos. There's been a few little nickel and dime problems. Sudden acceleration, well, that was a floor mat issue actually. Sometimes they're a little fragile on the rear suspension, and you can get knocking and banging on some of their models, especially Camrys or early model Lexus vehicles. You can start to get sloppy rear end, suspension, brakes. They are a little underrated, so if you plan to take your car to the racetrack, Toyota's not the way to go unless you want to get maybe the Supra GR. See? Right there. That also answers that question. Now, the Supra is based on a BMW Z4. They collaborated, both Toyota as well as BMW, to put together a package that's durable, fun, fast, and markets well. So honestly, Toyota has everything from a base Corolla up to a hot, fire-breathing Supra, and honestly, everything in between. You need an SUV, you need an economy car. They satisfy all needs. And it's like I said, Toyota, Lexus have always come from a place where they do believe in creating a quality product that just doesn't let you down. If I was putting a betting money on the table and I was hoping that car would last me hundreds of thousands of miles with minimal dollars, that's probably where my first choice would go. If I just needed a commuter or something that was just simple and effective, the Toyota would certainly be the brand. The third car brand that I literally would not regret is basically the upscale version of this. We've got Honda here. This is an Odyssey, and you know, the Honda Odyssey has been a pretty rugged workhorse for many, many years. Obviously, Hondas create a lot of great vehicles. The Pilots and the Honda Civics and the Accords, they're workhorses. They've lasted forever. And the good old Honda Prelude like this from way back many moons ago was also a fan favorite. Great, fun, sporty car, very reliable, VTEC engine and technology, high revving, manual gearbox, and it was a great winner. Very, very popular. Another reason why Honda was another high one on my list, but it's not Honda we're talking about. Instead, it's actually this brand right here. What are we looking at? Well, it's its big brother. It's Honda's big brother, Acura, right here. Here we have a TL, great popular model. As well, RDX, a very fun, sporty offering in an SUV format. Same with the ruthlessly reliable MDX right here, slightly larger vehicle than the RDX. They're both great, and they have lots to offer. So does Acura. Such as one of my favorite supercars of all time, we have the Acura NSX. Like this is literally a hybrid, makes well over 500 ponies, 0 to 60, 3.2 seconds, and it's a blast. And you have cars like the ILX, which is essentially a rebadged Civic with all the benefits but few of the drawbacks. And because Honda has such a high level of reliability, other than that little bit of problem area they hit with a glitch in the 1.5 liter Turbo 4, they had a little bit of oil and fuel dilution issues that was rectified with some tuning and as well as some administering different maintenance procedures. But on top of that, all you did was transfer that engine potentially to the Acura Integra. Other than that, the Integra takes higher output engines, 2 liters, 2.4s. They have much better engines, V6s that produce decent power, and they're reliable. The Acura is essentially an upscale Honda. We wouldn't regret buying a Honda, but more importantly, we would regret even less buying an Acura. And the reason that is because not only do you have the Honda level of reliability, but you actually have some fun, some frivolity, vehicles that are well styled. They don't feel so hollow. They don't feel so cheap. And yet you have that level of durability that you have encased in all of these beautiful vehicles. So that's why Acura, maximum reliability, great performance, great punch with some of the VTEC engines. You can own it for 10, 20, even maybe 30 years in some cases and not regret a minute, because the cars are affordable, reliable, practical. There's very little to go wrong, and in the right model like the NSX or some of the V6 cars, you can find yourself a vehicle that is actually fun to drive as well. And with all of that said, check out right there 2024's best SUVs of the year. Hope to see each and every one of you on the next one. We'll see you all real soon. Bye-bye.